Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is a huge announcement. Team BC Acquisitions is live. I originally launched before we had to move companies a while back, so we had to put it on pause, but the investment division is live. And the man, the myth, the legend, Tyler, who's out in Michigan, is helping me. He is joining Team BC and becoming a part of it out there and helping me launch the acquisition division of Team BC. So we're going to get into exactly what we're looking for, what the opportunity looks like, why Tyler decided to join us, and what that vision is going to be. If you're interested at all, you can reach out to myself. You can reach out to Tyler via social media. You can drop a comment below, and we'll take it from there. So Tyler, man, big news. You excited?
Definitely ready to start it up.
Yeah, man. So let's talk a little bit, because I know we're primarily looking for people who are more on the investment side, wholesalers. First, can you at least describe a little bit kind of what your experience has been like in wholesale and kind of what you've done and the scope of your work?
Yeah. So for the most part, when I first started, it was back in 2018. I initially got my license. I did that for a while and didn't really like what was going on with what, on the retail side of things. So I seen wholesaling through a few videos, and I decided to start looking into that more. And that's kind of how I got into it. Really was just stumbling upon it, watching your videos, funny enough, back in, I think, 2019. From that point on, I went on and did a couple wholesales, and then the person I was working with at that time wanted to do more buy and holds and flips. So that's what I got into after we started wholesaling. We were flipping a lot, holding a couple rentals. But yeah, that's really how I fell into it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's funny. A lot of people tell me that, like, they've come in through me or somebody else and they heard about it, right? Or they didn't like the retail side as much, so they decided to work with investors or go more the wholesale side. So in the end, right, I had reached out to a ton of people. I reached out to you. Why did you decide to kind of partner with me and launch this thing? Because that's not an easy decision, nor is it simple, because now we're dealing with this whole operation.
Yeah. So the reason I chose to work with you, it was simple to me. It didn't seem like a big choice. I've been seeing you. I know you have a lot of integrity. I know you're experienced in what you're doing. So when you reached out to me, it wasn't really a choice that took a lot of thought on my end. I knew that if you're going to start doing something, you're probably going to make sure you do it to the best of your ability. So, I was happy to have the opportunity to join you.
So it wasn't like a nuts and bolts type of thing. It was more like culture. We align values wise, that I'm going to honor my word. So it's a lot more about like character and the type of person versus just, we're wholesaling, right? That's kind of what it sounds like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because to me, at the end of the day, that's a lot more important. Anyone can wholesale realistically, if they know what they're doing. So even if you did have a ton of experience, if you're a bad person, I don't think that'd be something I would want to be a part of. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. And there's been a lot of backlash over the years with wholesaling because of that. I've seen it in the markets that I've worked, that the team has been a part of. And even the couple deals that I did, the people that I work with were ranting and raving in a positive way about how transparent I was being and how other people were kind of being shysty and trying to hide things from them or take advantage of them. And I never liked that. So I want to make sure that that's established and that people know that about us, because we do everything honestly, authentically, transparently, and we make sure that we're not screwing people over here. We're doing right by people. And that to me is super important. So walk us through, right? If somebody's interested, who is this a good fit for, and kind of what are we looking at here in regards to specifically the type of person we're looking for, how many people, stuff like that, so they have an idea.
I'd say as far as the type of person we're looking for, I think someone that's, self-driven, comes with their own batteries. It's not something where we're going to have to give you a rah-rah speech every Monday to make the calls. I think that's really important. Someone that has thick skin, I'd say, would be another important part of it, because a lot of this stuff, you're going to get told a lot of things you don't want to hear. You might not get deals as fast as you think you're going to get deals. So being able to handle the ups and downs of what you have to go through in the beginning of it to actually get to your first deal, I think, having the mental fortitude to do that is really important. Someone that's coachable, for sure. And like you said earlier, if they're going to join and work with us, they definitely should align with the honesty and integrity that we're trying to bring.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think typically the following has kind of been filtered in a way where if usually people come in through my channels, whether Instagram, YouTube, or whatever, they tend to align, with kind of how we work and what we believe in, and that's kind of I think what attracted them to the brand. So it makes that recruitment, a little bit easier. Limit, right? What are we looking for? 6 people, 7 people? Like I remember you told me something like that, right?
Yeah, I'd say around 7 to 8 ideally is where I'd like to be. Have a couple cold callers, a transaction coordinator, or acquisition manager. Just people in every spot that we need them. I can't say what might happen in the future. If something happens where it grows past 8 or whatever that number may be, I can't say for sure there. But ideally, yeah, I'd say something around 7 to 8 people.
Okay. What type of experience do people need? Can they be anywhere, nationwide? What does that look like?
So as far as experience goes, I mean, just a few people that we've talked to in the beginning, launching this, there's been a couple people that don't have any experience, and that's okay. As long as they're able to really sit down and focus on learning what they need to. I would prefer, if someone does have experience, just because it would make it easier on our end with the training. They could hop right in and start working. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they have to have any experience as long as they're really motivated to get something done.
Okay. License? Do they need a real estate license or no?
No, not at all. And, I mean, now it depends. It's definitely an exception to that rule. If you're in a state that is requiring you to have a license and you want to wholesale there, then that is a different situation. But for the majority of it, no, you wouldn't need a license.
Okay. Now, in regards to the future, because this is something that's really important and, we discuss it pretty frequently, like what's the long-term vision here? Do you think, because we're bringing on more leadership in about a month, we're going to expand this thing. Like, what do you see? Do you see us operating in every state? Would you like to have 50 or 100, 200 people in the operation? Like if you went and looked 2, 4, 5 years in the future, how do you kind of see this thing growing and what's that kind of final version of it look like to you?
I wouldn't say that I ideally would want to have 200 people or a massive company like that. I'd say I would like to have maybe 20 to 30 people at max and be working a select few markets, maybe 3 to 4 markets that we really lock into.
Okay. Very cool. If somebody's watching this and they're like, well, I could just wholesale on my own, why would I join Tyler and Bryan and join the team? What would kind of be your recommendation as to which option would be best for them?
I mean, I kind of speak from experience on that. So when I started, I did that. I tried to learn all on my own without paying for any mentorship or doing anything. And I'm not saying that's what you have to do if you want to get where you want to go, but I will tell you, it definitely draws out the time that you're going to be doing this to get to your first deal or your second deal. It makes it way longer and honestly harder because you're going to make mistakes that could have been prevented had you been with someone that's already made the mistakes. Yeah. So I'd recommend, if you really want to do it yourself, go ahead, but I'd say get with someone that's actually done it before.
And it's funny, I actually met Tyler through my program. That's how we got connected. That's so funny. But when I launched my nationwide team on the retail side, it was the same thing. We first drew from within the community in the coaching program of a couple hundred people, and 5 or 10 people joined us right away. But then again, you're already picking from a group that aligns in the values, is working hard, and basically fits the mold of the ideal person that you're looking for. You know what I mean? So that's cool, man. We'll do this then, right? Obviously, people know how to reach out to me here in the comment section, Instagram, whatever. If somebody wants to reach out to you, because I know I've sent you a few people so far, what's the best way to get a hold of you and then start that conversation?
I'd say my Instagram, or you guys can shoot me an email. I mean, that works too. Okay. And my email that you can send it to is Tyler Blackburn, just how it sounds, realtor@gmail.com.
Okay. And I'll put everything in the description too. And then I'll pin it in the comments so people can see it. Any final words of wisdom? Because I just wanted this to be a quick announcement.
I'd say if you're thinking about it, definitely at least reach out and get on a call with us. It doesn't hurt to have a conversation and see if it fits.
Cool. All right. I'll have his info below. Reach out. TBC Acquisitions has launched. We'll see you guys soon.